Hey guys, I'm back. Welcome back to the Fox Critic. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking all 10 Fast and Furious movies from the worst to the best. Now that Fast and Furious 9 is out, I've watched it, I've done my review on it. So yeah, without further ado, here's my list of all 10 Fast and Furious movies ranked. So let's begin with this ranking video. In last place is Too Fast, Too Furious. In my opinion, this is the most uninteresting film of the whole Fast and Furious franchise because it's basically just the first one again, just way worse done. Like, the dialogue is somehow worse, the villain is extremely forgettable. There was nothing here that interested me or really entertained me that much, aside from a couple of scenes. And looking back at it, I don't know why I don't like it more than I do, because it's a buddy cop movie between Brian and Roman, and it has no excuse for being this bad and this boring. And number 9 is Fast and Furious. Easily the biggest problem with this movie, in my opinion, is that I consider the first 3 movies of this franchise to be a trilogy, because those are the ones that are about the street racing. And then from the 5th one onwards, it is the big action blockbuster series that we know Fast and Furious to be today. But this one is just filling in an odd gap between the two of them, and it makes for a kind of awkward viewing. And tonally, this is definitely the worst film in the franchise, because it is way too dark and way too serious, and honestly just kind of miserable. And it's very forgettable as well, because every time I think of the Fast and Furious movies, this is always the one I forget exists. And number 8 is Hobbs and Shaw. And one thing I should mention here is that from this one onwards, the quality of the films are a lot better than the last 2 ones. And I know this might be a bit of a controversial placing, because I know loads of people love this film. And yeah, it is very entertaining, watching, Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham fight baddies and do these insane, stunts with cars and everything. It is very fun to watch, but in my opinion, it feels kind of empty and is one of the more forgettable ones. I don't really dislike it that much, it's just I prefer some of the other ones, and it definitely has its strong points, it definitely has its weak points. But overall, in my opinion, it's one of the more forgettable ones, and I feel like there could have been just a bit more action, and this one feels like it's kind of lacking energy a bit. And number 7 is The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, easily one of the most underrated entries in the entire franchise. I really like this one because it is a smaller scale one, and it focuses just on the street racing and just on the cars. Personally, I really love cars, and just watching a movie about them racing in Tokyo, which is a really nice setting, is really entertaining for me. It introduces Han in this movie, and I quite like his character. And the whole thing is just a fun, entertaining little watch, even if it is, a lot smaller scale than the other ones. Coming in at number 6 is The Fate of the Furious. I do quite enjoy what this movie did with switching up the formula and making Dom the villain, even though I feel like they could have developed Dom as a villain more than they actually did. But at the same time, this movie has quite a lot of writing issues and character issues, probably because of the absence of Paul Walker. And it's very tonally inconsistent with itself. Like, it could be a gritty betrayal story, but then it also does this. But nonetheless, it's still a fun, entertaining, nonsensical action movie with a great soundtrack, extremely over-the-top action, and some pretty memorable moments, in my opinion. And number 5 is F9, the latest film in the Fast and Furious series. And I've heard a lot of people really criticize this one, say it's the worst one of the whole entire franchise, just because of how over the top it is. But my god, like, if you just turn your brain off and watch this and accept it for what it is, it's a lot of fun. It is just so over the top, so nonsensical, and sometimes it's just laughably over the top. Well, actually, most of the time it's laughably over the top. For how fun it is, though, this movie is trying to be a lot more than what it should be, and what it should be is an incredibly over-the-top action movie, but it also tries to give you way more emotional depth than it should, and just way deeper storytelling than it should. But it is still a really entertaining movie, in my opinion, and quite a lot of fun if you turn your brain off and just accept it for what it is. Coming in at number 4 is The Fast and the Furious, the one that started it all, the one that started this whole entire franchise. And oh my god, this is so different to the rest of the franchise. It basically feels unfair to judge this one alongside the rest of them, just because of how different it is. Now, because, it was just about the street racing back then and stuff. But to be honest, like, I can't say I prefer the street racing over the top thrills that we have nowadays, but I still really enjoyed this movie. I found it really entertaining. I was surprised at just how much it managed to draw me in with such a simplistic concept. It isn't the most original thing ever, because of, Point Break and stuff, but all I wanted out of this film was just a watchable action movie, and that's what I got. And number 3, into the top 3 now, is Fast and Furious 6. I'd say from the 5th one to the 7th one is definitely when this franchise was in its prime. So this movie knows what it is, and it knows what you want, and it just absolutely delivers. Is basically just more of Fast Five. It's just as entertaining, just as fun, and I actually really love the plot as well because yeah, it's the family fighting evil versions of themselves. I think it's just really fun and really entertaining. Um, it's probably more forgettable compared to the fifth one and the seventh one, but I still really like it and still find it really really entertaining. In second place is Fast Five. This is where the franchise knew what it was doing. It knew what it was, and after the fourth one, which felt extremely confused because it was stuck between the street racing era of the franchise and this era of the franchise, this absolutely just knew what it was doing, and a lot of it just works really well as well. Like it's already perfected its formula here. The action scenes are all really memorable. They're not too over the top compared to a lot of ones we've seen nowadays, but they're still really great and fun to watch. The whole sort of setting with Rio is the whole thing just looks really nice. Probably the second best looking film out of the franchise after Tokyo Drift, in my opinion. And this is just really watchable, really fun, and it's where the franchise became what it is today. But my favorite of all of the Fast and the Furious movies is easily Furious 7. Everything about this movie, it's just Fast and the Furious at its absolute best. It pushes things just over the top way more than any of the previous ones have done. Cars literally fly through skyscrapers in this movie. And even the little parts of this movie, like how it kept continuity from Tokyo Drift and stuff like that, really just makes for an amazing Fast and the Furious movie. I was really impressed with just how much this movie managed to overcome its obstacles with obviously the passing of Paul Walker during this movie's production. And I was really, really impressed with the way they sent him off with the writing. They didn't just kill him off or anything, but they actually did pretty clever writing with sending him off. This one has some of the most memorable moments of the whole entire Fast and Furious franchise. I just love the finale. I think the plot is really, really good. And I think Deckard Shaw as the villain this time around is really brilliant. And I was really worried they wouldn't be able to give a tasteful goodbye to Paul Walker's character, but they really, really impressed me. And I didn't think I could ever get sad at a Fast and Furious movie, but here we are. So because of all that, Furious 7 is easily my favourite. So thank you very much for watching this ranking video. If you did enjoy it, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to. Do make sure to let me know your list down in the comment section below. And until next time, bye bye.